For more, let's cross to Vienna. Velina Tchakarova is the founder of the geopolitics consultancy FACE. Thank you for being with us here on France 24.
Thank you very much.
This advance, it's a village, a few more hamlets this Tuesday. How much should we make of it?
Well, we should be very much paying attention to what's going on right now, because this is opening up the terrain for the shortest way towards Melitopol. And this is where Ukraine will be now focusing a lot of its forces. But we should be also mindful of the fact that there are also other battles going on. Here, the expectations and the pressure from the West is growing in terms of successes that Ukraine needs to deliver. But obviously, what happened yesterday is not necessarily a game changer, but a serious breakthrough.
Yeah, for now, we see images of fighters trying as much as possible to stick to the roads, what with so much of the terrain mined. How fast can they advance?
Well, first thing that we need to understand on behalf of the West is that we've lost precious time that enabled Russia to mine most of the battlefields and to solidify and fortify the defense line. So also, second point is that the West has lost or let's say wasted a lot of precious time to deliver what it has pledged. So this all results now in difficulties Ukraine has to conduct this counteroffensive in a most efficient and most successful way. The third important point, as we've seen from the last weeks, is again very, very small, very, very slow discussion on the possible delivery of F-16. The F-16 would be also quite needed right now. And the fourth point is that we have to deal with the time frame due to the weather conditions. So Ukraine will be now really going all in to try to achieve some kind of military breakthrough.
What would fighter jets change when it comes to disrupting the network of tunnels and defensive positions that the Russians have set up?
Well, first thing is that Russia is using a lot of artillery fire. The second point is that Ukrainian soldiers are more or less, going on the battlefields undefended. So air fire will be certainly quite helpful in the case. And certainly it has also a perception, change of perception in a way that the West, keeps its promises. Here, we've been too slow, too inefficient in the way what we've actually promised to deliver.
Earlier this month, the Pentagon nudged Kyiv, saying that its war effort was spread too thin along that 900-kilometer front line, and it should concentrate its efforts more in specific spots. You agree with that, and is that what we're now witnessing?
No, I don't agree with that, because U.S. generals are not on the ground. They don't have skin in the game. They are not in the war. It's Ukraine that is actually fighting. It's the Ukrainian soldiers that who are fighting, and in reality, they know best how to deal with Russia and with with the enemy forces. That's the first thing. The second thing is, it's one thing to strategize on paper in war rooms. It's another thing to deal with the reality, and the reality is that as in fact Ukrainian political leadership and the generals were saying from first day, that Russia should never ever be underestimated, despite the successes from previous counteroffensives. So here once again we see clearly that this is the case, that Ukraine has its own idea how to actually conduct the counteroffensives, and that is the reason why they have decided to go that way.
And we are seeing that more and more the Ukrainians seem to be pushing by sea. Drone attacks, missiles launched in the Black Sea. Your thoughts on that?
Well, first and foremost, the Black Sea is the most important global choke point for food commodities such as wheat. And I argue that Russia has been trying to induce a food crisis 2.0, similar to what happened last year, not only by withdrawing from the Black Sea Grain Initiative, but also by attacking the ports in the Danube region, which is the alternative that the European Union facilitated for Ukrainian agrarian products since the beginning of the war. That's the first thing. Second thing, of course, is about establishing the supremacy in the Black Sea region, which is the reason why Turkey has been very, very supportive of Ukraine in the most recent months, specifically when it comes, for instance, to drone supply. And here, once again, we see that we go back to the discussion of F-16 and other critical weapons systems that Ukraine can use actually to further conduct successfully counteroffensives, and how important this is.
The Turkish president who's talked about a possible meeting with Vladimir Putin. Your thoughts on that?
Yes, informations came today, obviously not confirmed yet, that President Erdogan may visit and meet President Putin in Russia. The Russian president is still not inclined to internationally travel, as we've seen in the most recent months, and now also with the BRICS summit. And I argue that in this meeting, if it takes place, President Erdogan will try to once again convince and find a compromise for the Black Sea Grain Initiative to be enabled again to actually start again delivering, as otherwise we will witness significant pressure, significant stress on the food commodity markets.
Velina Tchakarova, many thanks for speaking with us from Vienna.
Thank you very much for the invitation.